When you spoke to us after the presser, the pre-fight presser, you said you had to speak to Lorenzo.
Yeah, we did. And now everything keeps getting pushed back a week. So we're waiting another week.
So no word on Showtime?
Right.
Gotcha.
What's the holdup?
Not me.
Not me. You mentioned injuries.
This is what we do every day. This is the business that we're in. You know what I mean? It's not us holding it up. Sorry.
You mentioned injuries, and then you talk about what's happening in Toronto, UFC 140. Rashad was sort of guaranteed that title shot, and next thing you know, bang, Machida gets it. Can you talk about the process of that?
You gotta be able to fight. I knew he couldn't fight. I knew he couldn't take that fight. I knew he was hurt, and he had the pins in his hand, and it was going to take time. So,
will you bring him into the cage again?
Probably not. I think everybody gets it now. I've had some bad luck with bringing people into the cage. Vanderlei and this guy and that guy. When it works out, it's good. When it doesn't, it doesn't. What
do you want to see next from Kenny Florian? Really, I mean,
I don't know.
Realistically speaking, what's next
Kenny,
for him?
Man. I mean, listen, I really like Kenny and I have a lot of respect for him. And you get to a point where you were at 70, you were at 55, you moved to 45, you had two shots at 55. He's accomplished a lot in the sport. He really has. And the thing about Kenny is he's smart, he's talented, he's got other options. He's got things going on outside of fighting too. So, I don't know, it's just one of those things he needs to sit down and really figure out on his own.
How would you compare this one to the other performances?
I think he looked better in this one than he had in previous performances. At least this one. And again, I don't want to smash him with his last title shot and everything else. But he gets to a certain point where it's like, all right, I'm going to push against the cage. I'm just going to try to stay here. But he came out this fight, was shooting, was punching, was kicking. Jose Aldo's a beast and has been tearing through all these people and knocking them out and stopping them. I mean, look what he did to Uriah Faber. He didn't do it to Kenny Florian tonight. Kenny Florian went 5 rounds with him. But I just think that when it's your last title shot, you go for fucking broke, man. You know that there's so much time left on the clock. You got 5 more minutes to finish it. You go guns a-blazing and you try to win that title.
What about Aldo? I mean, you said, he was running through guys. Now this is 2 decisions in a row. What do you think about him lately?
Tonight would be a little unfair, And like I said, again, I hate, you guys always ask me this shit, and I always tell you the truth, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think about fights. And, when you get into a thing with a guy who's a big, strong guy like Kenny, and he's pushing you against the cage, you're in there trying to get out. It's one thing if you're out there going guns a-blazing and you're fighting, and that's how Uriah Faber fights. I mean, when Uriah Faber and Aldo fought, those two went to war, man. It was just, they went at it. You didn't see what you saw.
Santiago's lost 2 in a row now. Do you know
I don't know. I don't make those decisions tonight,
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes, that's true. That's a good point.
To that point, though, I know, again, it's not 100%, but is Chad Mendez the next guy for Jose Aldo?
Pretty sure, yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see. I mean, anything's possible. Maybe Frankie calls me and says he wants to move to 45. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What do you think when people say that he's cleaned out the division? That Aldo's cleaned out 140 all the way?
That's why when they talk about him being top 3 pound for pound, it's like he's got a lot of work to be up in there. I say the same thing with Jones, too. Jones is looking good. I mean, Jones destroyed Shogun. He destroyed Rampage. He looks phenomenal, but he's got a lot of work to do in that weight division. Frankie Edgar has proven himself again and again.
With the deal with Fox, how does that change? So are you going to show as many? Or?
No, nothing's changing. The deal with Fox means we're going to reach more people, and expose more people to the sport. That's it. We're still going to do the pay-per-view.
It's only been 3 days since we last asked this question. But you figured out what you do with those prelims for Fox?
No. I haven't even thought about it yet. It's the least of my worries. I could care less about that right now. All I care about is that main event and that fight on Fox. I could care less about the prelims.
Will they be available?
I'm sure we'll figure it out, but it's the last thing on my list.